just now we heard was conduct. Now we come to knowledge, Vijja. And so with mind concentrated, purified and cleansed, unblemished, free from impurities, malleable, workable, established, and having gained imperturbability, he dwells, he directs and inclines his mind towards knowing and seeing. And he knows, this my body is material, made up from the four great elements, born of mother and father, fed on rice and gruel, impermanent, liable to be injured and abraded, broken and destroyed. And this is my consciousness which is bound to it and dependent on it. It is just as if there were a gem, a beryl, pure, excellent, well cut into 8 facets, clear, bright, unflawed, perfect in every respect, strung on a blue, yellow, red, white or orange cord. A man with good eyesight, taking it in his hand and inspecting it, would describe it as such. In the same way, Sire, a monk with mind concentrated, purified and cleansed, etc., directs his mind towards knowing and seeing, and he knows, this my body is material, made up of the 4 great elements, etc., and this is my consciousness, this is bound to it and dependent on it. This is a fruit of the homeless life, more excellent and perfect than the former ones. We'll stop here for a moment. So this is the first knowledge that this monk, after attaining the 4 jhanas, his mind being very concentrated, purified, cleansed, malleable and wieldy, he directs it to this part is called vipassana jnana, contemplation knowledge. Contemplation knowledge. So you see here, vipassana means contemplation. It's not insight. Vipassana jnana means contemplation knowledge. He contemplates, he realizes this body, this self has a material part and consciousness. And he with mind concentrated, etc., having gained imperturbability, applies and directs his mind to the production of a mind-made body. And out of this body he produces another body, having a form, mind-made, complete in all its limbs and faculties. Just as if a man were to draw out a reed from its sheath, he might think, this is the reed, this is the sheath. Reed and sheath are different. Now the reed has been pulled from the sheath. Or as if a man were to draw a sword from the scabbard, he might think, this is the sword, this is the scabbard. Sword and scabbard are different. Now the sword has been drawn from the scabbard. Or as if a man were to draw a snake from its old skin, he might think, this is the snake, this is the skin. Snake and skin are different. Now the snake has been drawn from its skin. In the same way, a monk with mind concentrated, etc., directs his mind to the production of a mind-made body. He draws that body out of this body, having form, mind-made, complete with all its limbs and faculties. This is the fruit of the homeless life, more excellent and perfect than the former ones. Stop here, this for a moment. This is the second knowledge he acquires. Because of having attained the 4th jhana, he is able to draw out from the top of his head another body. Sometimes in the suttas, described as a golden body. It looks exactly like the physical body. This is called Mano Maya Idi, mind-created body. It's a type of psychic power. Now we come to the third. And he with mind concentrated, etc., applies and directs his mind to the various supernormal powers. He then enjoys different powers. Being one, he becomes many. Being many, he becomes one. He appears and disappears. He passes through fences, walls and mountains unhindered, as if through air. He sinks into the ground and emerges from it as if it were water. He walks on water without breaking the surface, as if on land. He flies cross-legged through the sky like a bird with wings. He even touches and strokes with his hand the sun and moon, mighty and powerful as they are. And he travels in the body as far as the Brahma world. This as a skilled potter or his assistant can make from well-prepared clay whatever kind of bowl he likes. Or just as a skilled ivory carver or his assistant can produce from that well-prepared ivory any object he likes. Or just as a skilled goldsmith or his assistant can make any gold article he likes. So the monk with mind concentrated, etc., enjoys various supernormal powers. This is a fruit of the homeless life. Stop here for a moment. This is the third knowledge he acquires. This is called psychokinesis. In Pali is Idi Vida. These are the various types of psychic power, that he can multiply his body, he can appear and disappear, he can go through the wall, he can sink into the ground and come up, he can walk on water, he can fly through the air, as far as the Brahma world. So you notice the human body, with the human body, a person with psychic power, the maximum he can fly with his human body is only up to the Brahma world, not higher. So he can even touch the sun and the moon. This type of psychic power nowadays, you cannot find. Sometimes certain cultivators, they might have one, they might have two, but not all these psychic powers like the Buddha and his Arahant disciples have. So the Buddha describes this as a fruit of the homeless life. So it is something that comes naturally, and it is something good. Not like some people say that psychic powers are bad. It is bad if you don't have the Dhamma to support you, because people, if they don't understand the Dhamma, when they attain psychic power, their ego becomes very big, like Devadatta. So it's very important, the Buddha always says, when you practice the Eightfold Path, to attain right view first. If you don't attain right view, then it may go off the track, go wrong way like Devadatta. So it is always stressed that wrong view, the right view is the most important. If you don't have right view, you haven't entered the Noble Eightfold Path. So to enter the Noble Eightfold Path, you must start with right view. Then only it will lead you to the others. And right view in the suttas, in the Digha Nikaya, Sutta 43, you see there are two conditions for right view. One is the listening to the voice of another. Another person must teach you the Dhamma, the real Dhamma, the true Dhamma. Then you understand, that is the first condition. The second one is proper attention or careful attention. You pay proper attention, then only you can understand. Okay, now we come to the fourth knowledge. And he with mind concentrated, etc., applies and directs his mind to the divine ear. With the divine ear purified and surpassing that of human beings, he hears sounds both divine and human, whether far or near. Just as a man going on a long journey might hear the sound of a big drum, a small drum, a conch, cymbals, or a cattle drum, and he might think, that is a big drum, a small drum, etc., a cattle drum. So the monk with mind concentrated, etc., hears sounds, divine or human, far or near. This is a fruit of the homeless life, more excellent and perfect than the former ones. Stop here for a moment. So here you see, the Buddha is giving progressively higher attainments. So each one, when the Buddha describes, the Buddha says, this is more excellent and perfect than the previous ones. So this one, the divine ear, is called Dibbasota. In English, it's called clairaudience. So a person with the divine ear, if he wants to hear ghosts talking, he can hear. He wants to hear devas talking, he can hear. He wants to hear us talking also, he can hear. And he with mind concentrated, etc., applies and directs his mind to the knowledge of others' minds. He knows and distinguishes with his mind the minds of other beings or other persons. He knows the mind with passion to be with passion. He knows the mind without passion to be without passion. He knows the mind with hatred to be with hatred. He knows the mind without hatred to be without hatred. He knows the deluded mind to be deluded. He knows the undeluded mind to be undeluded. He knows the narrow mind to be narrow. He knows the broad mind to be broad. He knows the expanded mind to be expanded. He knows the unexpanded mind to be unexpanded. He knows the surpassed mind to be surpassed. He knows the unsurpassed mind to be unsurpassed. He knows the concentrated mind to be concentrated. He knows the unconcentrated mind to be unconcentrated. He knows the liberated mind to be liberated. He knows the unliberated mind to be unliberated. Just as a woman or a man or young boy, fond of his appearance, might examine his face in a brightly polished mirror or in water, and by examination will know whether there was a spot there or not. So the monk with mind concentrated, etc., directs his mind to the knowledge of others' minds. This is a fruit of the homeless life, more excellent than the former ones. So this one, knowledge of others' minds, is called Ceto Pariya Jnana. In Chinese it's called Ta Sin Tong. Now we come to the sixth. And he with mind concentrated, etc., applies and directs his mind to the knowledge of previous existences, remembers many previous existences, 1 birth, 2, 3, 4, 5 births, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 births, 100, 1,000, 100,000 births, several periods of contraction, of expansion, of both contraction and expansion. There my name was so and so, my clan was so and so, my caste was so and so, my food was such and such. I experienced such and such pleasant and painful conditions. I lived for so long. Having passed away from there, I arose there. There my name was so and so, etc. And having passed away from there, I arose here. Thus he remembers various past births, their conditions and details. It is just as if a man were to go from his village to another, and from that to yet another, and then return to this home village. He might think, I came from my own village to that other one, where I stood, sat, spoke, or remained silent like this. And from that one I went to another, where I stood, sat, spoke, or remained silent like this. And from there I have just returned to my own village. Just so the monk with mind concentrated, etc., remembers past births. This is a fruit of the homeless life, more excellent and perfect than the previous ones. So here is remembering past lives. In Pali it's called Pube Nivasa Nusati. Now we come to number 7. And he with mind concentrated, etc., applies and directs his mind to the knowledge of the passing away and arising of beings. With the divine eye, purified and surpassing that of humans, he sees beings passing away and arising, base and noble, well-favoured and ill-favoured, to happy and unhappy destinations as karma directs them. And he knows these beings, on account of misconduct of body, speech or thought, or disparaging the noble ones, have wrong view, and will suffer the karmic fate of wrong view. At the breaking up of the body after death, they are reborn in a lower world, a bad destination, a state of suffering, hell. But these beings, on account of good conduct of body, speech or thought, of praising the noble ones, have right view and will reap the karmic reward of right view. At the breaking up of the body after death, they are reborn in a good destination, a heavenly world. Thus with the divine eye, etc., he sees beings passing away and re-arising. It is as if there were a lofty building at the crossroads, and a man with good eyesight standing there might see people entering or leaving a house, walking in the street, or sitting in the middle of the crossroads, and he might think, these are entering a house, etc. Just so with the divine eye, he sees beings passing away and re-arising. This is a fruit of the homeless life, more perfect and excellent than the former ones. Here it's talking about the divine eye or heavenly eye, being able to see all types of beings and they're arising and passing away. This is, in English, it's called clairvoyance. Pali is called Dibba Chakku. And he with mind concentrated, purified and cleansed, unblemished, free from impurities, malleable, workable, established and having gained imperturbability, applies and directs his mind to the knowledge of the destruction of the corruptions or asavas. Stop here for a moment. You see, when a person has attained the 4th jhana, this state, the mind is concentrated, purified and cleansed, unblemished, totally purified, not a spot of impurity, free from impurities, malleable, workable, sometimes it said malleable, wieldy, established and gain imperturbability, cannot shake. So before a person can apply his mind to the various psychic powers, he must attain this 4th jhana, so that the mind becomes purified, concentrated, malleable and workable. You can use it in whatever way you want. He knows as it really is, this is suffering. He knows as it really is, this is the origin of suffering. He knows as it really is, this is the cessation of suffering. He knows as it really is, this is the path leading to the cessation of suffering. And he knows as it really is, these are the asavas. This is the origin of the asavas, this is the cessation of the asavas, this is the path leading to the cessation of the asavas. And through his knowing and seeing, his mind is delivered from the asavas of sense desire, from the asava of becoming, from the asava of ignorance, and the knowledge arises in him. This is deliverance, and he knows birth is finished, the holy life has been led, done is what had to be done, there is nothing further here. Just as if in the midst of the mountains there were a pond, clear as a polished mirror, where a man with good eyesight standing on the bank could see oyster shells, gravel banks, and the shoals of fish on the move or stationary. And he might think, this pond is clear, there are oyster shells, etc. Just so with mind concentrated, etc. he knows, birth is finished, the holy life has been led, done is what had to be done. There is nothing further here. This is the fruit of the homeless life, visible here and now, which is more excellent and perfect than the previous fruits. And Sire, there is no fruit of the homeless life, visible here and now, that is more excellent and perfect than this. Stop here for a moment. So this is the last of the knowledges under Vijja. This is called Asavaya Jnana, destruction of the asavas, and is equivalent to liberation or enlightenment. This asavas, I would translate, here is translated as corruptions. I would like to translate it as uncontrolled mental outflows. This is a leakage of the mind, the tendency for consciousness to flow. And this tendency for the consciousness to flow is extremely strong. And when we are not doing anything, the mind will start flowing. We start thinking, we start daydreaming. And it's so strong that when we go to sleep, it flows again and we start dreaming at night. So the problem with this flow of consciousness is that it creates the world. The world is created by consciousness because the world is in seeing consciousness, hearing consciousness, smell, taste, touch and thinking consciousness. The first five determines the outside world. The thinking consciousness is the inner world. So because the world is created by consciousness, to become liberated from the world of suffering, we have to end the flow of consciousness. So unless your mind is very strong, unless you have attained the fourth jhana, you are unable to stop the mind from flowing. So here you find to attain liberation, this person on the holy path, he has to contemplate the Four Noble Truths. Having contemplated the Four Noble Truths and the asavas, the flow of consciousness, then he becomes liberated.